All right. Well, thank you, Jim. And thanks, Norco, and everybody for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Um, Thank you. So, in 2024, a goal of ours here in the TISMO section for ALDOT is to enhance our 10 program. And we wanted to do that by starting with our SSP, in which we refer to as ASAP, and that's the Alabama Service Assistance Patrol. And these guys, I mean, we got about 25 trucks statewide and separated in different regions. And these guys do an array of they provide an array of services to the traveling public. And so they're the ones that's on scene working the crashes, incidents. We do minor, and when I say minor, very minor vehicle maintenance. So such as we provide oil and gas. We'll do jump starts. We'll do tire assistance. We have a lift and tow kit on the back, as well as push bumper up front, so that way we can push and pull vehicles out of the roadway as needed. Of course, I'm here for debris removal, so we do that service, and we take care of some emergency operations. Provide first aid kit to the drivers as needed, extinguish vehicle fires. We have message boards up top to assist us in traffic control. Next slide, please. Next slide. Oh, there we go. So let's take a look at our performance measures from 2023. And ATAP performed 34,000 different services to the traveling public, and just over 2,200 of those were dealt directly with removing debris from the roadways. And so from 22 to 23, we noticed that there was a 20% increase in the debris removal events. Excuse me. So we knew that that was an area that we wanted to kind of highlight and focus because, we've seen those guys run out into the roadway and grab debris in the middle of traffic, all times of the day, and it's an extremely dangerous job. So we wanted to explore all opportunities to keep those guys in the truck. Next slide, please.
I'm sorry, I think we may have lost
Yeah.
Bryson.
Let's give him a second. Try to get back.
Uh-oh.
There he is.
There we go. We can hear you again. Please continue.
Okay. Was it on mine?
We can hear you, Bryson.
Okay, good. Um, and so are we still on the performance measure slide?
You're on
We're on
JTech.
the
JTech lane blade.
Okay. Okay. Sorry about the inconvenience. So we explored all our options and we decided to go with JTEX Lane Blade. It gave us the best opportunity to one, of course, keep our guys in the truck, but keep that push bumper that we value. The only thing that we lost out on was, can you guys still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. The only thing that we lost out on all of our trucks come with winches up front. And after talking with many of our operators and our drivers, they said, "Hey, you can barely use the winch." So, I mean, that can be a sacrificial.
It
Yeah.
looks like we've lost Bryson. Bryson, we may want to come back to you. I'm not sure why, but your AV is
I
not
can
quite coming through.
Bryson, we're going to come back to you if you don't mind.
Okay, no problem.
Thank
Okay.
you, sir. Thank you. So next we're going to move to David Blue, and who serves as the program administrator for the Traffic Management Group at the Arizona Department of Transportation, overseeing the Incident Response Unit, Traffic Operations Center, Arizona 511, and related statewide programs. David retired as a captain after 28 years with the Arizona DPS and brings a huge amount of experience, expertise in emergency response, interagency coordination, transportation safety, playing a vital role in enhancing Arizona's traffic operations and incident management strategies. So with that, over to you, David.
I hope everybody can hear me.
Copy
Good.
that.
All right, good. Good morning to everybody. If it's still morning, good afternoon if you're in another part of the country. Next slide. As we stated, the Traffic Management Group, the Incident Response Unit, it's comprised of 15 responders in the Maricopa County only. It's not a statewide program. It's 15 employees that participate in this program in the metropolitan area. And we're under the direction of the Arizona Department of Transportation, and we get a funding source from Maricopa agencies of government. Next slide. We began to do the debris removal system implementation back in 24, and the purpose of that is at the end of the slide. You'll see why. We lost the Arizona Department of Transportation employee due to debris and placing signage up. So we wanted to come up with a strategy to ensure that the employees didn't have to get out of their vehicles to remove debris and not be what we call a leapfrogger in the interstate system in the metropolitan area. Just some of our lanes of travel are 9 lanes. So that's how we came through, and we applied for a state grant through the FHWA, and we received $149,000 in funding source to deploy 4 debris removal systems. Next. As we started about, sorry about that, I got ahead of myself. It was awarded in November 25th of 2024, and then we received it December 2nd of 2024, and began the process to research which company we want to use. We went with Incident Clear as our vendor for the system. After we looked at Lane Blade and other vendors, and we decided this was the best fit for the Arizona Department of Transportation. Next. It is our first of our kind of in Arizona. During the installation in the early stages, we only have 1 installed. Next slide. And the reason why we only have 1 installed is it's not sure if I'm ahead of myself, but it was due to the challenges that we've had with out of state not having an in-state vendor in order to install the equipment itself. What we did on the performance monitoring is we utilized our CAD system, obviously, to start utilizing how many times the lane was deployed, where it was deployed, and how we were going to utilize that piece of equipment for the most effectiveness for return of investment. So we utilized that CAD system and support that driven data decisions in order to, because we only have 2 shifts. But we work from 5 in the morning until 1 in the morning, and with only a few hours with no coverage. So we want to deploy them for the maximum coverage and the cost effectiveness, because they are quite expensive, to $28,000 per bumper. Next. Our first installation was in February of 2025, and we had some challenges. One of the challenges is we had Ford vehicles, 351 tons, 350s, I believe they are. However, due to the manufacturers of Fords and that downshift, there wasn't building them, and only certain states were getting so many Ford vehicles. We had to switch to Dodge vehicles. The vendor did not have any type of blades that would fit on any Dodge vehicles, so they had to begin manufacturing just for Dodge vehicles to tailor to fits those. In addition to some of those timeline challenges, it was the vendor scheduling, because they have other customers they need to serve. So we're still in the process of getting the other 3 installed. But the first one that it has been deployed, we'll talk about it a little bit later in the slides. You'll see how well it worked. And so far, we're tentatively impressed with the equipment, but we're still evaluating that. Next. We did implement not a manual method, or not only a manual method, but an actual structured oversized training method, because we want a proficiency for the not only employees, we want to have their self-confidence in the equipment they're utilizing. So we set up a training not only with the vendor, but then we developed a lesson plan and objectives and a proficiency testing to ensure that the employee understood and had knowledge of the equipment, and they were self-confident in that piece of the equipment that they were going to be utilized out in the field. Next. Our future expansions, this is the brand new truck. We just purchased it. We put the blade on this one. This is going to be utilized effective July 3rd, 2025, when the new Interstate 17 flex lanes are open up. It's the first one in the state of Arizona. It's going to be a very, very high profile media event, and due to the hospital traffic being a flex lane, never being utilized, they're required to clear all debris or anything outside those roadways anytime we open up a northbound or southbound traffic lane over during those high profile weekends, i.e. Holiday weekends. So this was going to be utilized quite a bit for that. So we want to purchase new truck. We want to purchase the debris clear to make sure we had all that effective measures to get that roadway open up as soon as possible for the traveling motor public, which again, it supports not only ADOT's initiative and safety goals, but the overall mission of the Arizona Department of Transportation. Next. And this is a little video, it's about 30 seconds.
Do you see this mess here? So we've got some kind of a landscape truck, and it looks like they've dumped their whatever their clippings or whatever on the roadway. And is that a front loader on the front of a pickup truck? It looks like ADOT is trying to move all of the debris off to the right. And you know, it's funny because they work furiously fast to try to clear lanes when they can. And I guess they just happen to have a truck with a front loader and they can push all that debris off to the right. That's fantastic. What's not fantastic, look at the traffic leading up to the accident scene here. You don't want to get caught in this.
And as you notice, it wasn't really a front loader. There was actually a debris clear, or it's in a clear system that was utilized on that particular incident and worked well. So I just want to show that for some successful results that utilized with that. Next. And again, this is memory of our beloved coworker, Mr. Frank DeRozzo, where we lost his life due to picking up debris out in the roadway. And that's what kind of instituted this whole program 5 years ago. And, you know, obviously funding, budget, getting the leadership decisions to move forward with the project. And now we're on a successful launch to continue our program in the Maricopa County area. Thank you for your time. Hope everybody take care of you and your families.
Thank you, David. Great presentation, and for all you do in Arizona, keep up the good work. Next, we have Vaughn McGee. Vaughn has been employed by the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission for over 12 years. He has manufacturing and construction background and was self-employed for about 7 years in the trucking industry. He has been improving his skills as a mechanic for the past 30 plus years and has spent 20 years building and driving sprint cars in central Pennsylvania. He's currently the maintenance fleet supervisor. And with that, over to you, Vaughn.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to share some information today. As he said, Vaughn McGee, fleet supervisor for the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission. Next slide. So just a little bit about our system. The PA Turnpike Commission operates a toll road system that began 85 years ago within Pennsylvania. Currently consists of 565 miles, 23 maintenance locations that manage tunnels, interchanges, and bridges. We move about 500,000 people daily, and we employ over 1,300 employees. Next slide. So here's a few charts supporting the need for a debris removal solution. The first chart shows the national and the Pennsylvania fatalities by year. And the second chart shows the annual reported obstructions. So in 2023, we had over 7,200 obstructions on our roadway. Our safety patrol provides safety for disabled vehicles, provides gas to out-of-gas customers. They jumpstart vehicles for stranded customers. And of course, they're responsible for a lot of the debris removal. Next slide. So our view is a clear road is a safe road. If we can keep traffic moving freely, that's our ultimate goal. Debris on the roadway and disabled vehicles are two of our major obstructions that we face. And a lot of times that can cause secondary accidents and backlogs. So in 2020, the Fleet Division was tasked with coming up with a solution to deal with, to safely deal with the roadway debris. Previously, we would manage or manually drag off debris and remove debris running across travel lanes. A lot of times at night, through the day, at heavy traffic, at all hours, 24/7. So our 3/4 ton trucks were outfitted with push bumpers, and we came up with the idea of modifying it to remove debris while still being able to use it as a push bumper. And the pictures kind of show a couple of the instances that we commonly run across. Next slide. So early on, we realized once we get into it a little bit deeper that it was something that we weren't going to be able to bring to the market or bring to fruition quickly enough with the resources that we had. So we took the idea to JTech and to build the first unit. Our safety patrols are active 24/7, and these vehicles travel over 150,000 miles per year. So we wanted a unit that was, always installed on the vehicle. We wanted it to be able to work with our current chassis, which was a 3/4 ton 2500 Chevy. And we wanted to make sure that the unit would get underneath all the debris so that we weren't losing debris and running over it or having to make multiple passes. And the third criteria, or the fourth criteria, was we wanted to still be able to push vehicles, off the roadway. Some of the things that we ended up doing was with the wings of the push bumper, being able to move them forward. That was one of the things that is key to the success of it, so that we don't lose things off to the side. It captures everything kind of like a V-plow does, and we can safely remove that stuff from the roadway. These pictures here is the inside of what our operator station looks like. The lane blade controls and the screen are all easily accessible from the driver's seat. Also, you can see there the controls for the message board and the light bar are at the operator's fingertips. The screen and the camera system gives the operator a bird's eye view of what the unit is collecting. Next slide. Here's a picture. The top picture is a picture of the front-facing camera. It's a wide-angle camera that allows you to be able to see everything in front of the vehicle. We also have our vehicles outfitted with thermal imaging, so we can see any type of heat or anything at an active accident scene. Next slide. So some of the lane blades safety features. The unit's not able to be deployed over 20 mile an hour. So if somebody's going down the road at 50 mile an hour, they're not going to be able to deploy the unit and push something off the road or make contact with the unit. Obviously, we know what that would happen at highway speeds. We initially wanted that to be 40 mile an hour, but through testing and some of the larger debris that we faced, 20 mile an hour seemed to be the safe place to put that. Also, you have the hydraulic check valves so that the unit doesn't get accidentally deployed. Some of the other safety features are whenever the unit's not stowed in the full upright position, there's an indicator light. All of our vehicles are in constant communication with our traffic operations center whenever dealing with this incident. So when the responder activates our warning lights, motorists are notified through the Waze system of that vehicle, and they know to slow down. those vehicles also have HAWS devices, so that communication triggers through the HAWS device and then is pushed onto Waze. And a lot of times the debris, honestly, sometimes is reported through the Waze system. And we found out that through that Waze system, most of the time incidents like that are reported through that platform about 2 minutes faster than what it is reported by a call in. Next slide. Okay, some of our policies, the vehicle operator, whenever they come up on a debris, they pull off to the shoulder, assess the situation, they wait for a gap in traffic, and once they are free and clear, they move out into traffic, collect the debris, move it off the side of the road. If it takes multiple passes, they'll back up on the shoulder and make as many passes as they can to remove the obstructions. If they're in a tunnel, of course, they collect the debris and they push that to the end of the tunnel off to the shoulder. And then that's either collected at that time, or, if it's something that's too big, we've got some female drivers that, wouldn't be able to remove a full-size deer or bear or something like that. That is left for the maintenance crews on the next shift. Next slide. As far as training, all of our operators and our supervisors are trained on this piece of equipment, so that everyone knows, how it's to be used, how it works, and that we are sending a clear message and a constant message to everyone on our system. Next slide. So just a summary, we found that the lane blade, it's safer for our employees and our customers. All of our operators have embraced the concept and they understand the value of the additional safety. We initially piloted 3 of these units, and after we got good results and good success with those units, we now have 29 units in our fleet. We have 1 at every maintenance shed and 6 spares across the system that we can put into service during any type of service or repairs of the main units. And last slide. So in 2023, the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission received the IBTTA Safety Award for our part in creating this product and bringing it to the rest of the industry. And that's everything. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Von. Excellent presentation, information. And you were one of the first to work with JTech, designing, customizing your push bumpers and your, to both accommodate, pushing vehicles as well as doing debris removal, which I think is very, very innovative. So thank you for that and everything you do in the great state of Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So next up is Steve Frisbee. Steve began work at the Arkansas Department of Transportation in '97, has served as a resident engineer, district engineer, transportation policy and planning engineer, and is currently the assistant chief of engineering for maintenance. Steve strives to bring the field perspective into planning and management decision-making processes. So with that, over to you, Steve.
All right, thank you. Can y'all hear me okay?
Sure can.
All right, great. I'm going to try to be brief here. We've had some great presentations that got into a lot of good details. I will mention quickly that our state maintenance engineer gave a very detailed presentation similar to some of these in the May of 2024 Talking Tim webinar. And so I would encourage you to reach out, check that out if you'd like some more details about what I'm going to share briefly with you today. Tragically, RDOT has lost 5 employees in our maintenance or construction work zones in 5 years. And these tragic losses, of course, have weighed heavily on us, and they've been a catalyst to sharpen our safety first focus here at RDOT. And specific to today's topic, we lost Timothy Harris in May of 2023 when he was struck and killed by a driver while trying to retrieve a shovel that had fallen on a busy 3-lane interstate. And we just want to remember and honor his service and sacrifice to our state, as well as those others that have lost their lives. Next slide, please. You know, following that tragic loss in 23, RDOT put a safety task force together to implement some improved safety practices for debris removal. We, of course, reviewed other state DOT best practices. We came up with a very short duration operation policy, similar to some other states, for safe removal of debris. And for things without the specialized equipment talked about today, just basic best practices such as using a spotter, not allowing employees to cross high volume multi-lanes on foot. We implemented low-cost solutions such as long reach poles to retrieve debris in these more rural areas when needed. And then, of course, we invested in some specialized debris removal equipment, such as the road rake shown in the top right corner, and that's more for cleaning the debris off the shoulders to keep those clean, the lane blade, and the gator getter. Next slide, please. So RDOT initially purchased, after the 2023 incident, our director authorized us to purchase 13 lane blades and 16 gator getter devices, and they've been deployed across our high volume interstates. We do not currently have a motorist or service assistance patrol program. Therefore, the responsibility for debris falls on each of our maintenance headquarters located in our counties across the state. And in our urban metro areas, like many here understand, debris removal becomes a full-time effort for 1, 2, 3, or more employees each and every day. So again, I don't want to get too deep in the differences in some of the devices, but I know the questions could come up because I'm one of the only mentioning the gator getter today. I would be happy to discuss if anybody wants to know more about it, they can reach out to me. But I will say that the gator getter benefits is it can retrieve the debris at a higher speed. It was already mentioned about the lane blade that you have to slow down to 20 miles an hour. The gator getter can collect it up to 50 miles an hour. So that's nice. It can also collect more than one piece at a time. You can get several pieces at once. But the big downside is it's got to be mounted to a dump truck. That very much limits your versatility. And based on that, we did decide to expand our use of the lane blade due to its versatility as been described by others. So the good news for us is after we purchased those 13 initially, in 2024, we applied for and received a $125,000 stick grant to purchase 5 additional lane blades, which are out and now in operation. And then we doubled down, and we were fortunate to apply for and receive a $1 million aid grant in 2024 to purchase 30 additional lane blades. So we will now have a combined total of 48 lane blades to give us a statewide coverage for our interstates and high volume roads. We've actually received 22 of that last order of 30, and we're getting those installed and in the field. And the final 7 or 8 devices are going to be arriving in the next few weeks. So we're really excited about that. As part of our grant award, staff did develop a mobile app for operators to track the debris clearance with the lane blades. And we're going to be collecting data such as when we were notified, when they deployed, when the debris was actually cleared to get some good performance measures on that. The app was actually just completed recently and deployed to our operators last week. So we'll have a dashboard on ArcGIS where we can identify where the most debris is being picked up and some of those other measures. Good news is the feedback we've gotten from our crews and the peace of mind knowing that we're doing everything we can to keep them safe has made this a very worthy investment. And I just want to end by saying we're so appreciative to FHWA and those involved in the grant awards to help RDOT deploy such innovative and life-saving equipment that can improve safety and reliability for our critical infrastructure. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Excellent presentation. I'm super glad you shared a little bit about the gator getter. And I unfortunately have to, well, we've got 8 minutes left. First, I want to thank all our presenters. for the great presentations. Not going to have time today to get into questions for our presenters. But if you do have, and I've seen a couple, not many, if you
Right.
do have specific questions for any of our
Jim, did we want to go back and have Bryson finish his content? Or if not, then we do have time for 2 questions. So I
well,
don't know which way.
I don't know how much time Bryson needs to complete. I'm glad you interrupted me for Bryson, but Bryson, if you think you can get it done in like 3 or 4 minutes without your video, maybe just, speak without your video, that may help you not, lose us and us lose you.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I could wrap up in 2-3 minutes.
okay, well, go for it.
And Kevin, could you go to slide 44 to 45? Perfect. All yours, Bryson.
All right. Well, I'll welcome myself back since I'm the one who lost connection. But so we started our pilot last year. We put the lane blade on 2 of our trucks, one of them being in Birmingham, which is one of our major metro in Alabama, another one Montgomery, where I currently work out of. And so about 1 to 3 days, tires, tire treads, shopping carts, ladders, you can grab six.
My apologies, Bryson. You're still cutting out, so we may have to come back to you at another Talking Tim or offline. I apologize.
Okay.
You're cutting off about every half a word. So, so Jim, back to you then. We'll have to figure out the audio issue offline.
Okay. Okay. So with that, again, I want to thank all the presenters. Of course, Kevin and the Center of Excellence for hosting, and recording and video of this webinar will be available within a few days, if not in less than a week. I forget the timeline, Kevin. But thank you, and thank Vishali, and thank Katie Belmore for their support here as well. These are some of the URLs, links for any of today's participants to take advantage of. And as was mentioned before, any of the recordings over the past 7 years, or I believe the majority, are archived and available if you're so inclined to go back and check any of those out. So drop me a note and or give me a call if you have any questions about a TIM program, something amazing you're doing, technical assistance support. I'm always here for you, as are the contractors that you heard from today. Again, Katie Belmore and Vishali Shah on anything traffic incident management. So with that, I'd like to thank you all, wish you well, stay safe, and God bless. Bye-bye now.